PGMOL have cost us again. And I'm sorry, but how we've come out of that game with a draw, I genuinely can't understand anymore. Football is gone. Because I've just watched Ahmad get wiped out. Nothing given. And I'm thinking, okay, fair enough. It's one of those. We've had a penalty. It's fine. And then Maguire barely touches Evan Nilsson. Gets a red. I understand the red. But when I watch it back and realise all he does is brush his hand across his chest. Mind blown, guys. Mind blown. Make it make sense. Because right now, it doesn't. And I only have one way of looking at it. And that is corruption within PGMOL. And the fact no one wants Manchester United to come back to the top. And if you want honest, no nonsense Manchester United takes like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now, because we're calling this stuff out every single game till the end of the season. And there's only 7 of them left. Right, tonight we are breaking this down properly, okay? We're starting with PGMOL, obviously, because there is nowhere else we can start. Because, let's be fair, that changed everything in the game. Then we'll get into where the game actually turned. It wasn't just whether a penalty was or wasn't given. There was other aspects of the game as well. And then finally, we'll talk about Carrick, who I thought had a really bad night as a manager. Because I think he got a lot of the big calls wrong. So tonight we'll start with PGMOL. We'll go to the turning points, a few tactical issues, managers' decisions, and then we'll get into your comments on that at the end. But oh my God, guys, this is going to be a good one. So first off, let's get straight into the chat. Shunzi still fuming. Yeah, I bet you are. Atwell was pretty much at the halfway line for the Maguire pen. Couldn't get his card out quick enough. Danny, good evening to you as well. Big up, mate. You know, I like to delay my review show. I found it's a lot better to talk to you guys taking emotion out of the game, because I can do the player ratings full of emotion and what we saw in the game. But it's stuff like this. This doesn't just go overnight. This doesn't go, you know, thank God we got 24 days without a game now, because I might actually calm down. And most of you probably feel the same. But I see these stories about Barcelona paying off refs in La Liga, okay? And this being investigated over the last year and a half. And you're thinking, at least we wouldn't get that in the English game. But the more I see these VAR decisions, just the ones against us, you know, let's be fair. I've always believed that, you know, you'll get the next decision. The ref will even up. If he sends a player off, he'll look to level it up in a game. If he gives you a penalty, don't make a stupid challenge, he'll give them a penalty. That's how I was raised in football. That was just fairness, without anyone else being able to step in and criticise whether it was right or wrong call. But now we got Mr. VAR, you know, go to the monitor, have a look. Forget about that, mate. I was in the toilet. What happened? Oh, he pulled him back, 2 hands. No, it's Ahmad, he's lightweight. We're not going to give it. Because let's talk about the penalty that was given. Okay? Cunha, for that control off his chest, the run, drives in the box, and then he cuts across both defenders, and it's just a clear grab of the arm. You know, you see the shirt come out, and he lets go, and Cunha goes down on the spin. No, there's no doubts about it, because you see the stretch material. So you can't say he hasn't pulled him in the box. You could say that he still threw himself to the ground. But I believe that's the world we live in football now, where I even remember a referee telling me once, if you don't go down, I'm not giving you a penalty. And I'm like, but if he's pulled me back, why do I need to throw myself to the floor? Football has now evolved into throw yourself to the floor, you don't even get looked at. Okay? And I get that. You know, Bruno steps up, slots away, great penalty. nothing more than we expect when Bruno steps up for a penalty. I think he missed 6 penalties out of 47 or something like that in his career at United. Absolutely great. But then there were some other decisions we weren't really getting looked at throughout the game. There was an offside decision which was horrendously extended, where he was blatantly offside. You could have flagged him instantly, and we're talking 5 yards off, and they let the play run through and the block. And it's like, that's all right. I'm not quite sure. I want to make sure it gets caught on camera. So if I have got it wrong, they can correct it. And this is how my brain starts to work. Please, guys, get in the chat if your brains are starting to be brainwashed like this yourself, going, "Oh, we've got to let it run through. We've got to wait and see," and you're just becoming a robot waiting for everything. Because I get we don't want the wrong decisions made, right? That's why we all thought VAR was coming in, right? You can't miss anything now. It's going to be on camera. If the referee misses it, someone's just going to look there and go, "No, clear as day on camera." So let's talk about what is clear as day is. Ahmad drives into the box, knocks the ball outside of the foot, past the defender, 2 arms on one of his, pulls his body, spins him. His heel actually catches him slightly as well. Only not much, but enough. Falls over, lands with his back on the ball, so it's a full natural momentum to take him down. They break and they score. Now, the referee actually paused and was staring at Ahmad on the floor, like, do I give it? Do I give it? Do I give it? And then let the breakaway go. And if you're not sure, please go back and watch this, like, if you can find it. He literally stops, bent down like that, looking at Ahmad, and then allows the counter to happen. And I get it. If he was unsure, allow the counter to happen. Very soft goal. They get down the other end. I think we've dropped the ball, so to speak, taken our minds off of what was going on, did not concentrate. Like, it's a stonewall penalty, it's going to be given. And Christie strokes one in the corner, which very soft goal, but I thought Lemons was literally, he tried everything to get down there, and he couldn't get any further into the corner. And then all of us are like, surely that's not going to be given. He's going to give a penalty at the other end. Surely. Nope, still waiting. And then all we're doing is waiting for this goal to be disallowed. We don't see any replays of it. They just start showing Christie's goal, making sure if that was okay, and then all of a sudden it's given. And we just hear is, yeah, it's not a penalty. Come over it. I'm sorry. That's not acceptable. It's really not acceptable from anyone, because unless you're Jamie Redknapp, who sort of implied that he went down soft, which is absolute a joke, because when we get onto the Harry Maguire aspect, you want soft, then that was as soft as they come, but it was still a penalty. So, guys, tell me, is it just me? Please. Is it just me that is like, can't get their head round how that was anything but a fixed, not given to us on purpose decision? The facts are, this is the same referee and VAR official that denied the Martinez goal for the softest dive by Kyle Walker earlier on in the season, and we got an apology for it, that it should have stood because there wasn't enough contact for him to go down. I'm sorry, we can't have another apology. No manager in any league should have an apology. Something needs to be done about these wrong decisions. We're talking about going 2-0 up or 1-1. Massive difference. 2-0, game's over. 1-1, you've lifted a team up to win. I've seen other teams this has happened to now, and it's like, someone's going to get relegated over these decisions. Someone's going to win a league title or get or lose a European space. And we're talking millions of pounds. And some of these clubs, look at Aston Villa running on such a tight budget. This isn't on. and something needs to be done about it. But please, if anyone's got any ideas apart from sacking the entire PGMOL and bringing in a load of like 2-year-olds or something like that who might have a better understanding of football, please, like I say, come in the chat and let me know. I don't want to go rant for too long because we're probably all still feeling the pain of that not being given. And in a way, it's still a point gained. Thanks to Liverpool being still constantly crap and losing to 2-1 to Brighton. Good old Danny Welbeck does it for United. And then, obviously, Chelsea going out and getting thumped 3-0 by Everton. It's a point gained. So we've got to take that. We've got to wait for the Villa result to come in. But we've got to take the point game. We're still keeping that distance away from Liverpool and Chelsea. And don't forget, Liverpool have to play us, Chelsea and Villa. We have to play Chelsea and Liverpool. It's still all there. So 6 points puts Liverpool on the same points as us. And I think we're 5 ahead of Chelsea. So, and they're starting to drop off. Whether that's down to the manager or whatever's going on behind the scenes, it's definitely a point game. Danny says here, 100% 1 point game, onwards and upwards. And that's what we've got to do. We hate it, but we need to call it out. And everyone, if you see the social media clips, get sharing it, because PGMOL or just CHEAT, as I like to call them, something needs. We need to start putting serious pressure on them, and I think the Premier League needs to start stepping in. So that's where we are with them. Okay, guys. I wanted to look at the turning point, and I wanted to focus on it being given. Okay, so the penalty wasn't given, and the goal was at the other end. Before we start, Sean in there, forget filing complaints. Someone please 2-foot that prick. Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. And Sean's quite a calm guy, right? And he's still feeling it today, because it's when it's blatant and that kind of blatant, you do feel it for a long time. This wasn't a 50-50. This was 90-10. You know, this was only Liverpool, City, and Arsenal fans probably not giving us this decision, where everyone else in the league would have gone, that's a penalty. So, but what happened was we switched off. We are fighting. We had the chance to go only a few points behind Man City yesterday, with them playing Arsenal. Okay, City are out Champions League because they're crap and Real Madrid aren't. Arsenal have still got to go. We've got a chance of still catching second place. And it sounds stupid to me to say it, right? Because 4 months ago, we were dreaming of even getting a European space, and now we're talking about potentially getting third or second. But mentality, strength in your own personal beliefs and belief as a team is the only way to do it. And I saw 2 different aspects in about 5 minutes yesterday, because to turn off when you've been aggrieved. Try and look for the right word. Try and not put too many swear words in there tonight, guys. When you feel aggrieved on the tackle, like I say, they've got a breakaway. Someone should have hacked them down on the halfway line. That's my view. Stop the play, make the foul, and let's have VAR have a look at the decision. Don't wait for the referee to blow his whistle. Don't see what happens. Wait for the ball to go out of play. Stop the play yourself. Okay? Best thing you can do. Try not to do it like getting a yellow card, but just making a clever clip of their heel, stumble over or in front of someone, nudge them over. There's ways of fouling people and not getting booked and making it so obvious. We didn't do it again. And this is a real flaw in Manchester United. I only really see Casemiro do the clip of the heels and stop someone in their tracks to stop a counter. He's the only real player I trust to do it. But of course, he got another yellow yesterday doing something similar, so he can't do it all the time. So we need more players doing that. But we were so soft around the box. what I like to call crybaby mentality. You're worrying more about what hasn't been given up the end than stopping a goal. The ball goes in, but then we did switch. We did switch. We went back on the front foot. We got a lucky equaliser. And let's be fair, it was a lucky equaliser because in my mind, I'm like, how the hell has Harry Maguire missed that header? Let alone the fact he missed it and it smacks Hill in the side of the face and goes in. Because I think even Hill was anticipating Maguire slamming it home. So we kicked in again. And under Carrick, he's the last manager I've seen that mentality actually work. Go to the final whistle. They've scored 0-0, start again, get the next goal. Whatever it is. You score one, we'll score two. Those kind of mentalities. A lot winners have that mentality. Okay, always have that mentality. So what? You scored. I'm going to score again myself. So what? We'll get another two, and we went and showed it. So guys, let me know. What do you think? Do you think Man United's mentality is strengthening game on game? We're not conceding that goal and going into a 20-minute slump anymore. We're actually going, do you know what? Get the ball back on the centre spot. Let's go again. So guys, please let me know either in the comments afterwards if you're watching this back, or of course jump in the chat now because I'd love to hear your takes. So have a quick look, catch up with what's been said in the chat. Sean's still fuming about 9 minutes of added on time. I actually thought there should have been more. I really did, because I thought we started time wasting in the second half, right near the start of the half. We were taking so long with goal kicks and throw-ins. And let's be fair, Dallow and a long throw. Can someone show him what a long throw is? Because he puts his whole effort in to launch it, and it barely gets to the 6-yard box. And Bournemouth's got quite a narrow pitch, which is probably one of the reasons we tried to utilise it. He definitely has an agenda, and he's been bending us over for years. We said that. 21 points left for grabs. And both Chelsea and the bin dippers dropping points left and right. Laughing my arse off if Everton leapfrog Liverpool. Can you imagine, Sean, can you imagine if in their inaugural season of their new stadium, the year after Liverpool have won the title and Everton finish above them? Oh my God. God. There be silver platters of bin lids everywhere in Liverpool with the toffees all over them. Come eat your toffees, because those bin dippers will not like that one bit. Garner today, what a player. Have we? No, we don't have a buyback clause on Garner anymore, Danny. We did up until he signed a new contract. Once any new contract signed, that goes out the window. If we could get Garner back for 40, 50 million, you would take him. Well, there is a story out there by one journalist that's obviously then been spread by multiple other sources. I'm going to call it bullshit, but now apparently United are looking at extending Casemiro's, giving him the 1 year extra. The only reason you would do that is if Anderson was our replacement for him, and now we've lost him to City. They're thinking we'll just keep Casemiro and we'll go for a second someone to back him up. So there is some in that, maybe. Garner could be that backup. Oh, new one here, Daily Clips. Welcome, sir. United. And we'll give it a Casemiro with a bit of a 6-7 at the end. So this is a very weird thing to talk about, extending contracts, because Maguire, Casemiro have both been talked about how giving sort of a 1+1. I think Casemiro's is just a 1 year extension, but Maguire's is talking a 1+1, and I don't think that's right, but I can understand it if they're not going to have the money. Danny says Cass has to go, thank you, but he can leave on a high. Exactly. What a great season he could leave having. I'm not sure about that Daily. Casemiro looking chunky. If you compare the picture of him from last season to this season, he's he's literally slimmed so down. The guy's absolutely ripped anyway. Whenever you see him in the training videos and that, so I think he's probably the fittest he's ever been, and that's probably why he's getting his best return for United currently. 7 goals this season, which is the most he's scored. And, you know, as Jamie Carragher once said, leave football before football leaves you, and he went and gave us 1 extra season. So, obviously hasn't left us yet. But, guys, keep an eye on the bottom here. Drop your thoughts in the chat. You know, like I say, like we've got daily clips in here now. Danny, Sean, there's 6 of you watching, so there should be at least 6 thumbs up. Danny, if you can just keep an eye on that as a mod, mate. Just making sure everyone's giving the video a like. Much appreciated. We're getting a lot of views over the channel, but I'm not really turning them into subscriptions. So, you know, please, guys, if there's something you want me to do more or you feel I can do better, let me know. Like I say, come in the comments. Have a conversation. This channel's all about conversations. I am not a dictatorship, unlike some of the bigger channels. But let's get back to the game. Let's have a look at what I felt was the biggest tactical issue. And if you watched my preview, well, if you've seen the player ratings I done last night, I had a bit of a pop about it. But, you know, go and watch that after this. You'll probably be able to take it with a bit more pinch of salt. But I said there was one aspect we really had to do against Bournemouth because of the way they play and their high-intensity press. Okay? Was that give them the ball. If you give Bournemouth the ball, they can't press you. Because when they do press, they press in a front 5, almost 6, which means you can go long and in behind. So that meant Sesko had to start and stretch the play. You put him on a centre-backs. Their centre-backs aren't great. You put Ahmad and Mbeumo, Cunha, you put two of and leave the other fresh legs on the bench to run off the flicks. Sesko came on the 90th fucking minute and he won nearly every ball in the air once he was on the pitch. Flicked him on, we could have got him behind. So, I'm sorry, tactically, yesterday, we were set up wrong from the start. But I thought we did well. I thought our structure was good. I thought the way we sat in and defended and looked to counter is great. But we waste Mbeumo when we do that. Mbeumo is not a play on the shoulder of a striker and spinning behind. Ahmad, you know, he wants to carry the ball. Cunha wants to carry the ball. They don't want to run onto the ball in behind. So I get it. And Mbeumo has got to be that wide player if you're going to play that way. And Cunha had to be the one up playing through the middle, playing to his feet, let him get that little outside of the foot turn he loves and spin away from a centre-back and get him behind. If you think about how he controlled the ball and got the penalty, and you think about some of the free kicks he got, it just would have been better to have Mbeumo wide. Personal opinion, but I like to think I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to using pace. As a player who used to have pace, now I'm lucky if I can even spell the word pace. You know, I've just got to that age in my career and only having 1 ACL left. But you need to know how to utilise it. And the best way to use pace is running from deep. It's not standing on the shoulder of the last defender and trying to get in behind. You've got your Gareth Bales and people like that who could do that. But most strikers, no matter how fast they are, they still have to escape the physical tug and things like that to get away first. And Mbeumo's not that guy. So for me, it was wrong. And yeah, Danny just said here, the passing was sloppy at times. Dallow was the example. Dallow again, like, let's be fair. Every week we're talking about the same bloody guy. And every week he starts under all the managers. So whatever he does in training earns him his spot in the game. But Carrick has dropped him. We need to remember that Mazraoui was deemed ill only 2 days before the game. Okay? So maybe his energy levels weren't there. And I don't know how... well, I'm just going to call it this. Ramadan, I don't know when it starts and when it ends, and I'm not going to pretend to, but I do know Mazraoui will obviously be taking part in Ramadan. So if he's been ill, his energy level is going to be a lot lower than any normal player. So that's something to take into account, okay? So yeah, it's what we want is Mazraoui at right back. But Dallow, last few games, he'd done okay. But he went back to Dallowness. Do you know what I mean? Like, some of the passes, he's playing a blind pass inside and giving the ball away. But when he gives that ball away, he doesn't sprint. He doesn't sprint to try and win it back or get into defence. You know? So, what is the point? He is one issue. He's just one issue. But going forward with Ahmad, I think they actually link up quite well. But I felt that we tried to use the width too fast. Okay, we know Harry Maguire, Kobe Mainoo, Casemiro don't have a sprint speed. So if you play out deep from your defence fast, you need to hold the ball up. Okay, so let everyone else get up the pitch. Again, you need that tall striker. Get the ball down. Hold up, player. We've got Sesko. Is Sesko a Mateta? Is he someone like that? No. But he can learn that if we play it. But worst case scenario, still flick it on wide. And like I say, then someone's running from deep and they can get up to speed. I just think tactically there was a lot of issues. But the biggest issue for me is player selection. And we're not spotting players getting tired. I said in the preview, I thought Mbeumo's week was this week to sit out. I thought 5 games without a goal. It's now 6. Cunha's been playing well. Ahmad did well when he came back in. Let's give Mbeumo the rest. Sesko's getting those goals off the bench. Okay, but this was a game to stretch. And if Mbeumo can just give us 30 minutes of pure pace near the end of the game to see it out, it would have been perfect. You know, but then the substitutions being so late on, 80-something minutes, I'm sorry, it's bad management. And this is going to go into the fourth topic I sort of wanted to bring up, and I'm just going to bring it in a little bit earlier. Michael Carrick is still a young manager from in Premier League terms, and even in his career. What he's done at Middlesbrough, there's nothing else before that. He's still learning. Games change whether you make the decision or sometimes if you delay making that decision. I think if he was ready to make some changes when the second goal went in and then he held back. The changes he then made, Ugarte and Heaven. Well, Heaven obviously had to come in and we had to sacrifice a player to get 4 back in the defence. Okay, we can all accept that. But to bring Ugarte on for Casemiro, I didn't get because I knew we were going to be under more of the cosh. Ugarte's discipline in positional play is horrendous. He's just another Bruno on a bad day or as a headless chicken running around. Okay, and I felt like he done that and he got caught out of position a lot. But then 91 and was it 90 plus 1 and 90 plus 2, Mount and Sesko. These guys should have been on at 75 minutes minimum. A striker, any attacking player needs 10-15 minutes if you want to get something out of them. Very rarely you get bring on a striker for the last 30 seconds and they score. Obviously, as United fans, we are very used to seeing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Okay, we've all heard the stories. It doesn't matter if you're 10, 15, 20, you know about Solskjaer, you know about 99. You know, someone like me, we had that before. Whoever was ready to come off the bench, who played under Alex Ferguson, was ready. It was always be ready. That's your only thing. If you're not playing, be ready, because you might only get one kick. Yeah. Sesko, I feel, is ready, but 91 minutes under the cosh, down to 10. No, get him up there. Play him into the corner flags. Get him to hold the ball up. see out the 1-0 win. He's extra height in the box. I just didn't understand it. And I genuinely feel that Michael Carrick got from minute 0 to minute 100, because that's what it ended up being, didn't it? Tactically wrong yesterday. I think as a team aspect, they stuck together and defended well as a team, and you could call that tactical. But I thought wrong personnel, wrong positions, and then substitutions were horrendous. Bear in mind, I do not care if these players have got to go on international duty. You've got the red of Man United on, and you go out there and you give your all for your club. Oh, you got a knock just before you go. Oh, tough titties. You can't play this pointless friendlies, right? Who cares? I don't care. I'm here to win games for Man United. That's how I see it. So if I needed to make changes on 60, 61, 62, 75, whatever it is, we got 5 subs. We got 4 on in the last 10 minutes. That was wrong. Now, whether Mason Mount was probably pre-planned just to give him 5 minutes at the end. I've never understood it. I never will understand giving a player 5 minutes. Just let them do the doggies at the end. Let them do 10 sets of doggies instead of 6 or something like that, because that's about as much running you're gonna get. So, what do you guys think? Do you think Michael Carrick got that wrong? All right, I felt the players dug in and they got us a 2-2 draw. I think we all know that PGMOL cheated us out of a win. But do you think the manager set the team up wrong for that game? I personally do. I could break it down by attack, midfield, defence. Why? But it is what it is. Obviously, the biggest decision now is actually going to be Leeds United, which is our next game. It's about a month away from now. 24 days to be, or 23 days now and counting. We're not going to have Harry Maguire. It's going to be a 1-game ban for the red card for denial of goal scoring opportunity. It's only a 1-gamer. Has he been sent off this season? No, it's his first red card of the season, so he should be fine. So Martinez surely needs to be back. But then he won't have played any minutes. So is that an issue? Dallow, we know, isn't going to be playing at all this season, pretty much. And although a lot of channels are trying to claim they've got the information, it was spoken about what his injury actually was. I feel like it was the last press conference of Amarin. Amarin said that basically he had... it was either the press conference or a interview with Sky or TNT or someone like that. It was something about he had a back injury, and they found it was like a spot or cyst, and it had pressure on a nerve in his spine. So when we're talking about nerves and things like that, so I'm guessing, without getting too technical, the sac's on a nerve and it's expanded, applying pressure, and maybe they've got to wait for it to fix itself naturally. Let's hope that's the truth, because that's what we want to hear. A natural injury, a natural fix, great, no surgery, nothing like that. But Dallow and Martinez, a lot of us say that's our best combination, and we ain't going to have them to see us out till the end of the season. Martinez's injury is probably all due to his ACL injury. I haven't heard if it's his right or his left calf. We just got told it was a tight calf injury 2 months ago. And he's still out. Now, having had an ACL myself done, my lower calf causes me a lot of problems with my lower calf. My Achilles tendon gets very tight, and then it pulls, and you just get, if you've ever had cramp in football or running or anything like that, you just get a constant knot right in between the two muscles, and it's nigh on impossible to kick a ball, because as soon as you kick it, it just goes. And I'm hoping, again, that's what Martinez has got. But it also isn't fixable. It's something he'll have to build up, get in the gym with Jack Grealish. So Aidan Heaven's probably going to have to start with Lenny Yoro at the back for the Leeds United match. And I'm not sure how we feel about that. We've got 3 weeks. I will be going over a lot of this stuff in those 3 weeks. Because let's be fair, we've got the England games, then we've got FA Cup, then we're back on the Monday night against Leeds. So we literally are playing the first game and then the last game, Premier League game, which was 24 days between. So we'll be going over a lot of things, potential transfers of what we need, not who I think we'll get, what we need, and a few other aspects. Danny here, go get Van Heck centre-back, needs to be a priority along with full-backs, 3 midfielders and a backup left wing. Yeah, and a partridge in a pear tree. I know, I said, I think on either Tuesday night, I think it might have been, or Wednesday night, that I feel that we might have to spend up to almost 500 million to sort this team out because of just things that have gone wrong, like this De Ligt, Martinez, whether we keep Harry Maguire, Casemiro leaving, having no left-sided players because they were obviously profiled as wing-backs at that point. You know, I done a clip about a month ago now. I was asked, you know, would I sell Dallow and bring back Rashford or vice versa? You know, Rashford deal's still not gone through. If Carrick stays, I could see him bringing back Rashford. There's a hot take for you. I can see the manager doing it. Doesn't mean that's what I want. I don't really want anyone back at the club who had to move away because they weren't doing their job. So, but transfers are going to be a big issue, and it's all stuff we can talk about. But I think that will do us for this breakdown for tonight. There's a few things. What we got? There are a few things, and I'm just going to say one of the things, Danny, you've just literally said we're wasting our time. Otherwise, I think 250 to 300 would get us them if we shop right. You're right, but that's one of the things I want to go through is Jason Wilcox, Christian Fivell even. I feel they're at loggerheads with each other, and it's gonna hit us as fans and as a club, and we can't be having that again. But let's finish on a high. We gained a point. We are still in third. Even if Villa win, we stay in third. We move on to Leeds United. 7 games left. All we've got to do is just keep moving forward. Okay, we'll take the point here. We'll take the point. 3 points there. We go out. We beat Liverpool at ours. We go to the bridge. We fucking smash Chelsea because we owe them one. We owe Chelsea a hammering. And I think it's there. Under their manager they've got at the moment, Senior, who I think is an absolute clown. I think we can take that. And let's keep digging away at City. Maybe City slip up at Arsenal. Maybe we get a point behind them. Even if I finish 1-2 points behind Man City, I'm buzzing, okay? Because what were we thinking at the start of the season? We've got 7 games left, guys, and I'll leave you with this. 7 games left. We are sat third. And if I'd offered you that at the beginning of the season, to even be contemplating this now, you would have snapped my hand off. So let's keep that positivity going. Join me on Tuesday night, United Lens, and we'll go through some more. Catch you later.